The date is January 26, 2026.
And this is a big one.
Yeah. Mark it down, circle it, put a notification in your calendar.
Because if you're following the war in Europe, today isn't just another day.
Not at all. This is not another day of grinding trench warfare. Today is a real pivot point. We have breaking news coming out of Ukraine that is, frankly, it's massive.
We're not talking about a pallet of small arms ammo or a few surplus trucks.
No, this is a technological leap that feels like science fiction. Ukraine has just received another significant lot of RCH-155 Howitzers.
And that name, RCH-155, might just sound like another acronym, but this delivery brings the total pledged number to 54 units.
54. That is enough to equip 3 full artillery battalions with a weapon that completely changes the geometry of the battlefield.
It really does.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts of this beast, and trust me, you want to hear what this machine can do.
Absolutely.
If you support Ukraine and want the unvarnished truth about the hardware shifting the front lines, you need to subscribe to Defense Reports right now.
It's your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. You won't want to miss it.
I'm Alex. Join me with Aria and the latest podcast by Defense Report for a sharp, no-nonsense breakdown of the latest in global defense news, military technology, and strategic developments.
And today we're covering a machine that shouldn't technically exist yet.
That's the crazy part. It's a weapon so advanced that the country who invented it doesn't even have it in their own army yet. But Ukraine does.
We're talking artillery that can fire while driving down a highway at 60 miles an hour.
And we are talking about a massive German aid pipeline that has, well, it's effectively replaced U.S. dominance here in 2026.
So we are going to explain why this specific delivery on this specific day matters more than you might think.
Okay, let's dive in. We have a huge stack of technical reports, budget committee notes from the Bundestag, you name it.
A lot to get through.
So what exactly is this RCH-155? Because to most people, it really does sound like alphabet soup.
It does sound a bit dry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But when you look at the engineering, it's actually this fascinating technological marriage.
A marriage.
Yeah, think of it like a Frankenstein's monster, but in the most elegant, high-tech way possible. It's taking the best parts of 2 legendary systems and fusing them.
A high-tech Frankenstein. Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's unpack this. What are the parts?
So first, you've got the legs. The RCH-155 is built on the GTK Boxer 8x8 chassis.
Which is crucial, right? This isn't a tank.
Exactly. It doesn't have tracks. It's a wheeled vehicle that drives like a heavy-duty truck.
And I want to pause on that for a second. The whole wheeled versus tracked debate. Usually you think tracks are better for mud and rough terrain.
Yeah.
Why wheels?
It's all about strategic mobility. A tracked vehicle is slow, it tears up roads. To move at a couple hundred kilometers, you need a train or a flatbed truck.
A whole logistical headache.
Right, but the Boxer chassis, it just drives there. It can hit 100 kilometers per hour. That's over 60 miles an hour on roads.
And its range.
Over 700 kilometers on a single tank of gas. It doesn't need a massive logistical tail just to get to the fight.
So it's a marathon runner?
Yeah.
That's the legs. What about the punch?
The punch comes from the Panzer Howitzer 2000.
Which is widely considered one of the best self-propelled guns in the world. Maybe the best.
Absolutely. They took that massive 155mm gun barrel, the L-52, and found a way to mount it on this truck chassis.
But wait a minute, how does that work physically? You can't just strap a giant cannon to a wheeled truck. The recoil from a 155mm shell would just flip it over.
And you've just hit on the core engineering challenge. That's where the third part comes in, the brain.
The brain.
It's called the AGM, or Artillery Gun Module.
Yeah.
This is the real game changer. It's a completely unmanned, fully automated turret.
Unmanned.
Totally. And it has a specialized dampening system that handles all those recoil forces, letting a lighter wheeled vehicle fire that heavy gun without tipping over.
And that leads to the thing that really shocked me when I was reading the reports. The crew size.
It's startling, isn't it?
I mean, traditional artillery, you're talking a whole team. 5, 6 people sweating inside a metal box, heaving shells around.
That's the standard. The PZH-2000 needs 5. The American Paladin needs a full crew. The RCH-155.
How many?
2. Just 2 people, a commander and a driver.
That's wild. You're cutting the human element by more than half.
And they don't even sit in the turret. They're in a heavily armored cabin up at the front, completely separated from the gun and all the ammunition.
So for the listener, why does that matter so much? Other than saving on payroll, I guess.
It's all about survivability. In a traditional system, if that turret gets hit by a drone, the ammo inside cooks off and the crew is right there with it.
It's death trap.
Pretty much. But in the RCH-155, the crew is isolated in their capsule. If the turret blows, they can be safe.
And in a long war of attrition, that's a huge strategic advantage.
A massive one. You're getting the same firepower with less than half the personnel exposure.
Which brings us to the tactical side. The phrase shoot and scoot has been around forever. But the sources are calling this shoot and scoot 2.0. What's the difference?
Well, the old way, the traditional way, goes like this. You drive to a firing position. You stop.
Then you have to deploy those big hydraulic legs, the spades.
Right, to stabilize the vehicle so it doesn't flip. Then you fire your mission, retract the legs, pack up, and drive away.
And all of that takes time.
It takes minutes. And in 2026, with all the counter-battery radar and loitering drones out there, minutes are death. If you're stationary for 2 minutes, you are a target.
Okay, so how does the RCH-155 cheat the system?
The magic trick is, it doesn't need to stop.
Wait, what do you mean? It doesn't need to stop to set up, or doesn't need to stop at all?
It doesn't need to stop at all. It is currently the only system in the world that is certified to fire its 9 rounds per minute while moving.
That sounds physically impossible. You're driving, the vehicle's bouncing, turning, and you're firing a 155 millimeter shell. How do you hit anything?
It's all computer stabilization. The turret is stabilized like a modern tank gun, but on a massive scale. The computer is calculating the vehicle's pitch, its roll, its speed, and it's compensating instantly.
So the barrel stays locked on target, no matter what the truck body is doing.
Exactly. Even if the chassis is bouncing down a dirt road at 30 kilometers an hour.
That is terrifyingly impressive.
And it makes the vehicle a ghost target. Think about it. If you're a Russian radar operator, you detect a shell. You calculate the trajectory, find the origin point.
And you fire back immediately.
Right. But by the time your rounds land, the RCH-155 is already a kilometer away from where it fired. It was never really there to begin with.
It's literally uncatchable.
Essentially. And there's one more feature in the reports that really stood out. It has a hunter-killer mode.
Hunter-killer. Sounds like something out of a video game.
It does, but it's very real. Because of those optics and the stabilization, the RCH-155 can do direct fire.
So not just lobbing shells over the horizon.
Exactly. If a Russian tank column breaks through and gets too close, this thing can lower its barrel and act like a massive tank destroyer, engaging targets directly with 155 millimeter high explosive shells.
So it's a sniper rifle, a shotgun, and a getaway car, all in one package.
That's a colorful way to put it, but yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Okay, so let's talk about the road to get here. Because today, January 26, 2026, is a huge day. But it wasn't a smooth ride. This system was promised way back in 2022.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. A mix of manufacturing ramp-up and some pretty significant technical hurdles.
The first symbolic handover was about a year ago, right? January 2025.
That's right, in Kassel, Germany. But we're only seeing the mass deployment now. And the delay wasn't just building the hardware, it was about the Kropiva challenge.
Kropiva, that's the Ukrainian command software. Nettle in English.
Exactly. You can think of Kropiva as like an Uber for artillery.
That's a great analogy.
It's a decentralized system Ukraine built. A drone operator spots a target, drops a pin, and the nearest available gun gets the call almost instantly.
And I'm guessing the brand new German howitzer didn't speak Ukrainian software right out of the box.
Not at all. You had this ultra-advanced German hardware, but it had to be completely recoded to talk to this proprietary Ukrainian network. That integration caused delays through late 2025.
But the upside must be huge.
Oh, absolutely. It means the guns arriving today are digitally native to the Ukrainian battlefield. They plug right into the network.
Which really highlights the fact that Ukraine isn't just a passive recipient of aid.
No, they're the launch customer, the first operator. The German Bundeswehr, the army that built this thing, only ordered their own in December 2025. They won't get theirs until 2027, maybe 2029.
So Ukraine is the combat lab for NATO's future artillery.
They are literally writing the manual that German soldiers will be studying 3 years from now.
Speaking of Germany, we have to talk about that geopolitical shift. With the changes in U.S. aid, Germany has really stepped up.
They have. Germany is effectively Ukraine's top military backer in Europe now. And it's not just these RCH-155s. The entire 2026 pipeline is comprehensive.
So what else is coming with these guns? Artillery can't fight alone.
It's a mix. We have 18 newly manufactured Panzerhaubitz 2000s coming in mid-2027. But what's really interesting is Germany is funding Ukrainian domestic production.
The Bodana howitzers.
Yes. They put up over $800 million for 200 Bodanas. But here's the twist. They're being built on Mercedes-Benz Zetros truck chassis.
So a true industrial hybrid. German trucks, Ukrainian guns, paid for by Berlin.
Exactly, and that Zetros connection is huge. They ordered over 1,000 of them. It's not sexy, but you can't fight a war without logistics. Germany is rebuilding the spine of the Ukrainian army.
And you've got to protect these assets, the IRIS-T systems.
Right, 9 of the 12 promised IRIS-T SLM systems are now delivered and operational. So Germany is sending the guns, the trucks to move them, and the missiles to protect them. It's a holistic approach.
Now let's pivot to a comparison that I found really striking. The British angle.
It's a real study in contrast, isn't it?
The UK has been a huge supporter, but their own artillery situation is, well, it's bleak.
They donated all their AS-90 guns to Ukraine, which was a noble move, but it left them, as analysts say, naked on artillery. The cupboard is bare.
And they want the RCH-155 for themselves, right?
They do. They've selected it. But here's the kicker. The UK won't even get a demonstrator vehicle, a test model, until 2028.
2028, just to test one.
Yes. Meanwhile, Ukraine is fielding 3 battalions of them right now in 2026. The British Army is waiting on paperwork and trials until 2029 or 2030.
Why are they moving so slowly?
It's what people are calling the Ajax hangover.
The Ajax armored vehicle program. A disaster.
Billions over budget, years late. It was a mess. So now the Ministry of Defense is incredibly gun-shy. They are terrified of buying something that isn't battle-proven.
So they're watching Ukraine do the proving for them.
Exactly. They're outsourcing the R&D to the battlefield. If it works against the Russians, then maybe they'll sign the check. It's a strange dynamic.
A very strange dynamic. Okay, let's bring it back to the battlefield. How does this fit into the wider doctrine? The sources talk about medium forces.
Right. Medium forces is the new buzzword. You have heavy forces, your tanks, slow but powerful. You have light forces, infantry, mobile, but they lack punch.
And medium forces are the sweet spot in between.
They're wheeled, they move fast on roads, they're like a fire brigade. The RCH-155 isn't designed to dig in. It's for rapid maneuver, plugging gaps, exploiting breakthroughs.
But there are threats. The delays in 2025 weren't just software.
No, they were also about protection. The biggest threat to artillery today is the Russian Lancet loitering munition.
It's a suicide drone. Nasty business.
Very. So the units arriving now have been modified. They have enhanced electronic warfare suites to jam the drones and special Barracuda camouflage to hide their heat signature.
So it's a hardened, networked weapon.
It's a node in a digital web, and the ammo versatility is key. Standard range is 40 kilometers. With VLAP projectiles, you're hitting 54.
And the volcano rounds.
You're reaching out and touching targets 70 kilometers away.
70 kilometers, that is deep behind enemy lines.
And remember that automated turret. It allows for a capability called MRSI.
MRSI. Break that down for us. Multiple rounds, simultaneous impact. The autoloader is so fast the gun can fire a shell at a high angle, then instantly fire another at a lower angle and another at a lower one still.
And because of the different flight times?
They all arrive at the target at the exact same second.
So one gun sounds like an entire battery hitting at once.
Exactly. Maximum shock and awe.
Right.
One RCH-155 can do the work of 3 or 4 older guns in that first salvo.
It's just incredible. From men pulling lanyards to a robot turret doing calculus while driving down a highway.
It's a paradigm shift.
So let's wrap this up. Today, January 26, 2026, a massive escalation of capability for Ukraine. 54 of these machines.
Fully integrated with their Krapiva software, hardened against drones, they've achieved a critical mass. This isn't just a few samples anymore. This is a fleet.
And here's the final thought I want to leave with our listeners. We look at this dynamic, Ukraine fighting, NATO supporting.
But when you really look at the RCH-155, you realize something profound. Ukraine is mastering the automated, 2-person, AI-integrated warfare of the future right now.
Well, major NATO powers are years away from even testing it.
Which begs the question, who's actually teaching whom?
That's the question, isn't it? The student has absolutely become the master of modern artillery warfare, and Europe is going to be learning from Ukraine's experience for decades.
A fascinating reality check. You've been listening to Defense Report by Alex and Arya, where we analyze the latest in military strategy, global defense, and advanced weaponry.
If you found this deep dive valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Defense Reports.
It is your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. We'll catch you next time.